All right, folks. I think it's like day 22. I don't know. I'll check it again. Maybe it's 23. Um, they're all running into each other. In any event, it's nighttime. So it's going to be a quick one. Worked. It's typical Monday. I had to work my normal job. Did come home for lunch. One of the forum members noticed something I did wrong on the truck and did verify that it was in fact wrong. And then I fixed it at lunch. Got back around 5 and I spent about 2 hours on the truck. And let me turn it around real quick, show you what I did. All right, so I've got the battery laid in, and I've run the battery cables. Again, we're chasing first start now, right? Got a little bit of odds and ends cleaning up here to do. Throw that away. I've started. I had some fluids. I'm about, I don't know, maybe a pint or so low in the rear end, so I'll go get one more quart for that. Going forward again, back to the battery. Again, here are the nice beefy cables. There's a 1 gauge. Got my excess battery. Got both cables run secured to the floor, and you can see the main battery cable. Back up just a little bit, coming up to the cutoff switch, and that's all kind of clumped right there because I keep it up high even with the foot box, the pedals, and then that'll give me enough run to like move it around wherever I need to. So I don't have the dash or anything yet. All this stuff is going to get hidden basically right. The request was right by the right hand knee on that side, on the driver's side. So I'm going to go ahead and fulfill that request. I like a nice clean dash anyway. I did spend a little bit more time organizing the cables and wire harness and all that. Still looks like a rat's nest, but we're getting there. Every time I look at it, I adjust it just a little bit more, but it's cleaning up nice. All the Ron Francis connections are all in one spot, so very easy to get to. Service later. The ground wire continues right here, right there, and then the ground and the positive are next to each other, but they're physically separated at each point along the way. Here's a good example where where they're together. They're actually zip tied with some separation. I don't know if you can see that. Hard to tell, but yeah, they're zip tied there, and then even the clamps, they're separated. So I'm not so worried about the ground chafing and grounding the ground as I am the positive, right? I was chasing this wire down. That absolutely needs to go right there. In years past, Ford went ahead and left that there. Kind of caught me a little off guard that it wasn't already hooked up. Because I also had this ground, and that still needs to get grounded. So, and then this cable here, this is going to get replaced. This is supposed to go to the starter. This is going to get replaced with another big cable. Overkill, but again, I want to make sure that the Coyotes get the best chance to start. On this side, and stand by, I'm going to get a flashlight. Okay, sorry about that. On this side, I've started. Let's see if I can't do this better. All right, I've started to run all the wiring for the start. So I've got the start lead going to the ECU, and then the Ron Francis wires right here. So the next thing I have to, and this is all loose, and this will get actually tucked up underneath like that. So when the headers come in, there's not going to be any interference. And then I'll have the positive cable come up and hit right here. So that'll complete what I need to actually crank the motor over. This cable right here is for the alternator. And actually, the only piece I believe I'll need is this. I'm not sure I'll need this, because what I'll end up doing is just running a from the one wire. I'm going to go from the alternator right here to the starter, and then that'll distribute. So this cable will get significantly shorter and less bulky. I still have to do the fuel pressure regulator, but that'll come. I'm waiting on one AN fitting, and then I'll finish that up. Everything else is ready to go. Last night, when I said I quit, I actually started looking at the other thing we need is oil. Obviously, I've got bad experiences with Coyotes in first start, so going through the process of figuring out where to put the remote. And I didn't want to stick it on the rear firewall or on the firewall because it's too close to the header. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it right here, which is fine, and it's not below the frame. It's black, and we should be in good shape. So that's all setting in place. I've got the MAF run, so it's ready to go. Pretty excited about that. I'm missing a silicone hose for throttle body. It would be nice. It's kind of neat if it. It's horrible light. If here, let me see if I can't fix that real quick. Stand by. Okay, that's better. Close the garage doors and the light stays in the garage. So it would be kind of neat to just run it in speed density mode, so it looks. I like that look. But we're gonna leave it at mass air mode. I'm still missing turns out there's a tensioner pulley that's different than that one somehow, that I need, and it's back ordered from a lot of places. So I ended up went up to Amazon. There's 4 left, so I grabbed one of those. Guess it's a special for this alternator arrangement. Otherwise, it's a 39-inch belt, or 39.5-inch belt. So I could probably get it to run without that, but I'll wait. I'm gonna still have to work on the alternator, and then thank you on the forum for catching. I had the shocks up front mounted upside down because I figured it'd be easier to make the adjustment, but the silver shocks you have to run right side up, which is making the adjustability interesting. I guess I'll be glad that I don't have to adjust them. So they're good now, and I'm just going to leave them that way. Other than that, not too much else. Nothing on this side. I haven't messed with the steering. Like I said, I only had 2 hours today. Work where you can. Other than that, we're getting close. I've got fluids in the transmission. It's still 1 quart low. I've still got to get oil for the engine, I believe. I haven't even checked it, honestly. But it'll get checked. If there's oil in it, it'll get drained, and we'll put new stuff in it. I'll probably crank it without water the first time. And still waiting on the headers. All that stuff should be big crate from Factory 5 on Thursday. And I think it's timely because I'm pretty much, I'll have wheels and tires in that, so I'm pretty much ready for it. I did check the pinion angle. We're right at 3.5 to 4. Probably, 3.8 something. My angle finder is moving just a little bit, so I'm happy with that. I'm just going to leave it alone. The measurements came right. As a matter of fact, I measured everything right out of the book, and that's where it landed. It seemed like it was going to be a little too much, but it worked out just fine. So I'm going to leave it right at 4. I do have 2 washers underneath the transmission if I need to change that some. But basically, what I ended up doing was I put my angle finder on the crankshaft, and that got me basically that angle, and then I put an angle finder on the front of the diff on this flat edge right here, and I just use a magnetic angle finder, and I got it. So yeah, I'm pretty excited all the way around. Yeah. So 2 hours to work today. That's all I had available, and I already had some of the cables. I actually had yesterday. I made this end on both the positive and the negative. So that was just pre-planned. So today, since it was I only had a couple hours, I went ahead and just terminated the other side and done. I've got a little bit more of the positive cable to make. So depending on how tomorrow morning goes, maybe right before to go to work, I'll make one end on that and then go to work and then come back tomorrow evening and potentially run the second one. So I have to get terminal wires or terminal lugs for the battery and a battery hold down. Yeah, other than that, that's it. Quick update. Actually, it turns out I did a little bit, but yeah, tomorrow the next day. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are probably going to be very slow, small moves. I might put the oil filter in tomorrow night, maybe, and we'll update if that happens. I'll try and see if I can't mount the fuel pressure regulator before Friday. Friday's the day off. Got to move the car, the other car, to a car show in the morning, and then I'll be hammering all day Friday, car show on Saturday. So if the stars align, I think we should have first start Sunday. We'll see. See you soon.